Nearly 15 years of civil war, an estimated 250,000 people killed, far more displaced, the use of thousands and thousands of forcibly conscripted child soldiers, and even cannibalism. It is all in the recent history of Monrovia, the capital of Liberia. Our story begins with the country's president, William Tolbert, enjoying a garden party in the capital. Hard to imagine the violence which was soon to come. He was to face riots over food prices and was overthrown in 1980 by Sergeant Samuel Doe. 13 of Tolbert's ministers shot dead by firing squad on the beach in Monrovia, their bodies dumped nearby. Later that decade, the economic collapse of the country helped lead to civil war. The man at the forefront, Charles Taylor, his National Patriotic Front of Liberia, overrunning much of the countryside.
We have a people's uprising, and this is what I want the French people to know. This is not a military coup d'etat, no. This is an uprising by the people, ordinary people. There will be no military council after we take over. There will be no big bunch of military people. The people, similar to your great French Revolution, with Lafayette and all of these people taking and giving to the people. This is what we are all about.
They forced their way into the capital in 1990, executing Samuel Doe. Rebels, though, splintered and fought each other. Taylor's forces ultimately storming Monrovia in 1992. It only came to an end in the mid-1990s with the signing of a peace agreement. Charles Taylor, this time elected president. Rebel groups, though, soon began fighting in the north and then in the south. By 2003, Taylor and the city of Monrovia became hemmed in as fighting and death again returned to the capital. International pressure grew on Taylor to go.
There needs to be stability in Liberia, and one of the conditions for a peaceful and stable Liberia is for Mr. Charles Taylor to leave the country.
At the end of the summer, Taylor went, saying he would be back. In Liberia now, under the presidency of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who jointly won the 2011 Nobel Peace Prize, relative calm. The UN, though, maintaining a strong presence. But what is life like there for those who lived through the war as they continue to put their lives and their city back together again? Romeo Langlois has this report.
Duco Palais Hotel was one of the biggest hotels in Africa. Visitors came, people from all over Africa, Europe, America. Today it's lying in ruins because of the senseless war. Duco is a metaphor of Monrovia.
Thomas Manjo is an actor, a passionate man that hopes his country, Liberia, can move on after nearly 15 years of civil war.
There was no government, no law and order. There was no hope. They killed people for fun. Pregnant women were butchered because the fighters wanted to know whether the child in the womb of the woman was a boy or a girl. Liberia is indeed a different city today because we have relative peace. My message is, let's talk war no more. Peace, peace, and peace for the sake of Mama Liberia.
During the war, 250,000 people were killed and millions more displaced. Monrovia is overcrowded, memories of violence are fresh, and tension remains. Something Thomas hopes his street theater may diffuse.
Wait. Look, my friend, what's wrong with you? How you can fight with a woman like that? This drama was preaching reconciliation in the home. It was telling the men, because most men in Liberia and in Africa, most men like to beat their wives. And so we were portraying to the people that this is wrong. These are the kind of messages we carry from community to community for people to understand. We preach messages of reconciliation. We talk on health. We talk on gender equality. We address good governance issues and so forth. We hope you got the message. Let's live in peace and not in pieces. Let's live as one people from the same country with one vision. You know, we have a goal for ourselves, Vision 2030. Let's work towards it together and be successful. Thank you.
War ravaged the capital. There's no running water, little to no electricity, soaring unemployment. 1 million residents in Monrovia live off less than €1 a day. Though little by little, the city is being rebuilt.
Things are changing. We are beginning to see street lights. The technology again is helping. Prior to the war, we never had telephone, we never had internet facilities and so forth. But now, those things, it make communication easier. And you know, so things are changing a lot.
Another symbol of change, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. In 2006, she became Liberia's president and Africa's first female head of state. She's ushered in foreign investment and economic growth of 10% per year.
You understand? Okay.
George Kalondo made his fortune from importing cars and fuel.
Yeah, okay, so
successful and ambitious, he then entered politics. George is a self-made man, a product of the new Liberia.
This is the Hummer. This is my campaign car. I own 2 Hummers. You can have an America in Liberia. So it's love for you how you want to live. All you have to do is to be focused on business, and you'll see how successful you will be. There's so much money here. Yeah. So it's love for you. You have to be focused.
Like the majority of people in the country, George is an evangelist. He views his wealth as a blessing from God and is optimistic about Liberia's future.
You can see so many constructions are going on. It's working. It's a gradual process. We have to start with the roads, the schools, the health sector. So it's moving. Now, then the energy sector. Try by the grace of God 2016 that the hydro would be in place.
George lives in a villa with its own security fence and a guard.
So there's this guy.
Much of his time he's alone. His wife and children live in the United States. But this evening, his friends are having a party.
This one, the young guys. This guy is also, he imports petroleum, he imports cement. He has been doing well. He lives a fabulous life. This is
During the war, a majority of Liberians fled their country. This party is a homecoming.
They're from America. They all came back to see how they can contribute to the reconstruction of Liberia. They're all into business. He's into diamonds.
A rich minority that sees Liberia as a new El Dorado.
We have a lot of natural resources. We have diamond, we have gold, we have logs, we have rubber, we got iron ore, and we just discovered oil. I'm fine though.
Prospects of wealth have attracted people from neighboring countries. Elan is Ivorian. He came to Monrovia to test his luck and found a job in international trade.
Liberia is gold. You see this little ring that I'm wearing here? It's set in gold. It's got my initials on it. It's a land of opportunity. We invite all investors to come to Liberia.
Despite their hope and calm on the streets, scars from the war remain.
Peace
Thomas has raised his children carefully and taught them to believe in peace. His 17-year-old son killed by the hands of rebels.
They opened his heart from here all the way. When they got here, other people heard they raped this way and so, and they pulled it out, used a knife and cut the heart, and they started cutting the heart into pieces to share among the fighters. According to them, that was the menacing that they used to give them more power.
War crimes have gone unpunished. Today, perpetrators and victims live in the same neighborhoods. Joshua Blahi, an infamous warlord who fought without clothes, earning him the nom de guerre, General Butt Naked, was part of the group that killed Thomas's son.
I have forgiven him because he's among the many perpetrators who slaughter our children, who raped our wives. But he chose to admit his guilt. He chose to tell the truth. He said he's not worth living.
That every rich virtue, because you have
Since the war, Blahi has converted to Christianity and become a preacher. He said he cannot be held responsible because he was under the devil's control.
The devil had one interest: to tell God that he had made a mistake for replacing him with you. So he wants to make sure he stops you from accomplishing your purpose. So that
Blahi's confessed to hundreds of crimes, including cannibalism, murder, and using child soldiers.
Gentlemen, there's a way out. I can't lie to you, there's a way out.
Only the support of people now we can get out of this.
God first. We can do it, but first God.
Today, Blahi tries to help youth at risk. There are some 20,000 drug addicts, orphans, and former child soldiers in the city's ghettos.
If I can kill for money, I can kill to get my money, not for...
you can use that instant, that identical moment when they are in drug, when they are Jones, to make them to do anything. That's what we used to do when we were fighting. Sometimes we go, when they go to the front, we show them drugs. We tell them, say, capture this place. And we give you that drugs. So it pain me when other people or warlords, generals, some of them in government positions, and they look at these guys as trash. It pains me because these are the guys who brought us to what they call permanence today.
Thomas has agreed to meet with Blahi, the former rebel commander.
I am one of the victims because my son was slaughtered by his faction group.
It's uncertain ground when Thomas arrives at Blahi's home.
Wow.
Our guide Zoom tries to ease the tension when the two men meet.
All right.
They decided to kill him in my presence.
Thomas has told the story of his son's death 1,000 times, and 1,000 times he has forgiven the killers.
And he kept, yelling, "Papa, come for me. Papa, come for me." But I had people holding me, 4 persons so they had. Let's turn a new page, because if I revenge, those I will pay revenge on, their relatives, their friends will see me. They will also revenge. Yeah. So then we have revenge.
Believe me, all the single person you kill, there is a playback every day. I'm telling you, there's a serious torture and torment every day in those playback. I pray that you will give them that.
Many in the country are trying to turn the page, both the innocent and the guilty. Meanwhile, others are carefree. George, the businessman, boasts about the quality of life in Liberia.
You're not supposed to drink and drive. Yeah, but we do it. Yeah, we do it for common and go with impunity. When y'all saying like this, you understand? Life is so nice. After hard day's work, after a hard week's work, we come out and enjoy ourselves.
He says Liberia is on the right track and that the country's next challenge is tourism.
More tourists come here, they will go into the hinterlands, then at the end of the day, I mean, the guys in the interior, they will make more money. They don't have to come to the urban area to survive.
Between a troubled past and an uncertain future, Monrovia is trying to embrace the present.
Life now in the capital of Liberia, Monrovia. Well, for the next edition of Revisited, we're going to be heading to Baghdad, where the city tries to live peacefully amid years of war. For now, though, thanks for watching.